Isn't it interesting, though, Alan, that people will go to horror movies, they'll go to sci-fi movies, they want to be scared by what they consider, fantasy.
Yeah.
But then when you take a look deeply, that much of what we've considered science fiction and fantasy is in fact true. And then when people realize that, now we get a different situation.
In the late 1800s, the Rothschilds created a foundation in England to encourage authors to write about certain topics which the Rothschilds defined. They were trying to start off science fiction writers.
Mm-hmm.
And of course Tavistock later gave the term to this process, where you read novels, now it's watching movies, but then it was novels aimed at the young, to make those young people excited about this imaginative future. And Tavistock calls it predictive programming.
Programming, there you go.
So that's what all fiction really has been for, from then on, at least, and maybe even before. But this process is well understood. It's when you're getting a lecture on something, you have a little sensor there that picks out certain things you won't believe or disagree with. But when it comes to fiction, that sensor part is down. And so you're wide open, you're being downloaded with possibility thinking, as they call it. And so something that would sound nuts if you were not brainwashed with this kind of material actually starts to sound quite natural. So we think we're evolving along a natural path.
Smaller than a grain of rice. That's where mine went in. It's an ID that can't be lost or forged or stolen. Its content and function can be adapted to suit my needs. It can be my credit card, it can be my door key, my car keys. I'll never lose them again. Eventually, it'll become universal. Starting at school age, a tag for life.
Yo, ever since I know you've been out to get me, acting like my peeps, but I know that's how you trick me. Love to see me get high, love to see me tipsy. Heard you even wanna stick a bill chipping me.
They're called RFID chips for radio frequency identification. In the future, chips could be tracking your every move in passports and visas as you pass through time zones. One company is even pushing human ID implants, all made possible by RFID.
I'm a microchip on the whole lot. You know not, but I was a robot. That's all right.
It's interesting, even the chip comes from the term a chip off the old block. Now that's a Masonic term, because the block, of course, was the old altar they used to walk around, and that's a common Masonic greeting. I've been around the block a few times. And the son of a Mason is called the chip off the old block, which is also the Mason himself, the ashlar, carefully squared Mason.
Get ready for this new world order. Shit is about to change, motherfucker. We living in the last, my theory is fuck it. Sexy niggas get abducted, my corrupted.
Giuliani's part of Illuminati. A million minds in one body, designed to decline society. They want at least 1.2 billion deceased, while the rest is left with the mark of the beast on a dome piece.
I think my mother knew that freedom wouldn't come in her lifetime, just like I know that it won't come in mine. But it's a matter of either we stay like this or somebody sacrifices, somebody lay the track so we don't stay in a 360-degree deadly circle. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to break out and risk, losing everything and being poor and getting beat down. But somebody has to do something.
The only way anything is going to change is once we stop waiting on these leaders, we start reclaiming our communities, our families from this damn TV, from the school system, and from this evil culture, man. We got to start buying out of this, and we got to start forming our own communities.
The only way I think we can combat this thing is you're not going to beat it head on. All we did combat it is just, like I said, and I've said it before, like, you got to retain that humanity, man. You got to retain that memory, man. That because that's why they attack children, the young, because they want to eradicate any remnants of what freedom was, or because we at least that's what makes America different from every other country. We have a memory of that,
The only way we're gonna be able to not sell our soul is by having some faith in each other. You know what I'm saying? Because pretty soon we're gonna have to start buying out of this system, because the wages are getting lower and lower. Okay, the jobs are disappearing. You're gonna have to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. Okay, you're gonna be, if you think you're a slave now, just wait 10 years down the line. Okay, the only jobs that are gonna be available are gonna be in Homeland Security, the fucking Army, FBI, or CIA. Okay. And if we don't start, like I say, having some faith in each other, start forming our own self-sustainable communities, then it's going to be game over for all of us, because the only way we're going to be able to work is by having a brain chip in our head, okay? And that's coming real soon.
Yeah.
They are on a roll, and have had world meetings about the science meetings, about chipping the brains of people ultimately. You've probably seen the write-ups by Professor Warwick in England.
Within a decade, we will have the ability to have a chip that you can implant in your brain. So, should we say no? We don't want that. We want to stay as we are, as humans. We don't want to go anymore. That's not something humans have done in the past. Humans have gone along with progress.
Well, at Loyola University in Louisiana, they had a World Science meeting paid for by the United States Department of Commerce, and the professor from Japan said, we're ready to implant this in everyone on the planet. And he said, but when this is put into the people, there shall be no more individuality as we know it. It will be impossible for a person to even try and think of themselves as an individual. And so he said this will be pushed through cartoons, through novels, through movies. Now, he didn't say we'd like it to be pushed. He says this will be pushed.
Sometime in the next century, because computer chips are getting smaller and faster, and eventually the time will come when a child is implanted with a little chip back here. You believe that you're going to be actually able to tell your mind through a chip to provide you with information that you can then speak. So on this program, this would be great for me. You put a little chip in there, and if I didn't know something, I could say would I have to say it out loud or just think it? Either way.
And at this science meeting, they didn't discuss politics once, because the boys at that level don't work for politicians. They work for the real world government. That's another clue.
Yeah. So the goal is to...
It's ready to go. Regional computers will literally direct all of the chips that are out there. And they claim that they already have the regional computers set up.
And then I looked up. Cell phone towers. Major power transmission network. There's one on every block. They can control the whole city.